You know, Ty Cross, I've never been one to bite my tongue in this sport. And maybe I should be, but I'm going to continue to tell you my honest opinion. And my honest opinion is this. Jace Mera is an absolute jerk. He is smug, he is arrogant, he is downright revolting at times. But the bottom line is also this. You cannot argue with results. And at this point of the game, it was Jace Mera that came out on top with that long-standing feud with his former tag partner, Tad Jarvis. Right now, of anyone in this tournament, momentum is on the side of Jace Mera. He is a former Ryse Grand Champion. He tore his ACL in his quest to try to win that championship once again. Ronnie is back, and Ronnie once again has his eyes set on obtaining that Grand Championship one more time. We're going to find out if he can make it through Jace Mera. Once again, opening round action in the Ryse #1 Contender Tournament. Mathis squares off with Jace Mera. My name's Jim Amata, being joined by one Ty Cross. Ty Cross, so far, we have seen Brandon K defeat Corey. We've seen Tad Jarvis defeat Jake Wiley. Who will be our next first-round competitor to advance to September 27th when Connellsville Slovak Club hosts Ryse After Dark? As I said in our opening moments here, Ty Cross, I believe that Jace Mera has more momentum than just about anyone in this tournament, coming off that win at the Fayette County Fair after that extended rivalry with former tag partner Tad Jarvis.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I do think that I'm still going to give Ron Mathis the edge in this contest. I think Jace is a little bigger, a little more power, maybe probably a little quicker, a little more explosiveness in his offense. But, you know, Ron Mathis here, seasoned veteran, one of the greatest we've ever seen in Ryse Wrestling, former grand champion. I think that Ron's going to have the edge here because I think the motivation, I think this is his opportunity to climb the mountain, get back to his grand championship, and prove that he is once again still Ronnie Grande.
Let me ask you a question, Ty Cross. Ron Mathis sporting that knee brace on his left knee. He is just within the past few months able to return to professional wrestling from that knee surgery. Will there be any adjustment period for someone that is now wrestling with a knee brace as compared to not needing that knee brace previously.
I can imagine that there will be, but I think the more telling thing that we're going to see throughout as this matchup, as this contest plays out, is that knee brace then becomes a target. And you got to wonder, if Jace Mara is smart, is he going to target that knee? A lot of people have tried to do it so far since Ronnie's return, and it is a smart strategy. Will it work out? I'm not sure. But I think that's what we're going to see, is that knee brace becomes a bullseye. But Ronnie looking fit, lean, and taking that shoulder tackle, bouncing right back up and delivering a big chop to Jace.
And I believe it's gut check time here. Ron Mathis and Jace Mara going to try to pull the punk card here. The animosity is rising here, Ty Cross. Both of these athletes know how important this chance is.
I'll tell you right now, a grown man kissing another grown man in between the ropes is definitely something that's going to throw your opponent off their game. The strategy goes out the window when you realize that your opponent's going to do anything to get inside your skull.
Look out here. Swing and a miss. Ronnie avoids the contact, but not that time. Ronnie Grande ran through Mara. That was a lip lock of doom in a completely different context.
Absolutely, but I'm telling you right now, Mara is rattled ever since that lip lock of doom. Jace has been on the back foot.
Well, Ron Mathis has been known to be unconventional, as you can see with him using his skull as a weapon. Mathis here, a true pro, gonna shoot Mara in. Sends Mara into the lights. You're not gonna see Ron Mathis, despite his unorthodox nature, he's not going to make mistakes inside the ring. He is very, very polished and very, very savvy.
And I've talked about it, like you're saying, in the past, I've talked about it. Ronnie's rules all through that, when Ronnie was very against Ryse and against the fan base here, the one thing you could never forget was how technically savvy Ron is. And look at the power as well.
All the blood
look at
rushing
this.
to the head. That is so disorienting.
That is pure power.
It's a lot of lean muscle on Ron Mathis. He didn't spend that time recovering from the knee injury sitting on the couch, I'll tell you that much, brother.
Oh, we got so a little bit of referee tied up in the corner action. Big eye rake there.
Yeah.
Looks like Nick Brown didn't take any major impact, which is good. Wonderfully executed spine buster there.
I'll tell you what, man. Jace Mara is mounting the offense on a former Ryse Grand Champion.
Yeah, this is...
I really believe
it's very impressive.
We're seeing the evolution of Jace Mara as an athlete here. Because there was a point in time early in his Ryse career that he may not have been able to hang step for step with the former Ryse Grand Champion. That's simply not the case anymore. We're seeing Jace Mara at probably the best we've ever seen him here in Ryse as an organization. I mean, we may not like his attitude, but results are what counts. You know what I mean, brother?
Absolutely. And it's been working. I mean, it's been paying dividends. As you've spoken to in the past, he was able to really come out on top of that feud with Tad, and could be the next grand champion here. Ronnie almost caught him. Like I said, I gave Ron the edge in this matchup, and I do think Ron's going to come out on top. But if Jace comes out on top here, you might have the favorite to go on and win this whole tournament.
And notice how quickly Ron Mathis followed up there. That is no accident. That's not a coincidence. Oh, man. Mathis hit the buckle very, very awkwardly that time, almost going ribs first.
Yeah.
Into the buckle there. And you can speak to that being an in-ring athlete for a decade. When you get the air driven out of you, it's almost a paralyzing effect.
And if there is some severe damage to those ribs, not being able to take a breath is devastating when you're inside that squared circle. And I'm going to go on record. I'm going to say this. I do think Ron, even though he's down right now, has the potential to still pull out this matchup. That's my pick. But if Jace goes on to win this matchup, because of, wow, look up and over both competitors.
Hitting the hardwood floor.
If Jace is able to pull this off, I think just based on the potential matchups ahead and what Jace Mara can do between those ropes, if he knocks off Ronnie Grande here, he's going to be my pick to win the whole tournament.
Referee Nick Brown putting down the count. Of course, if this match ends in a count out, one of the athletes that advanced in the first round would have gotten a bye to the finals. Oh, man, you heard that.
And look, now he's got a slugfest. One competitor on the apron, one inside the ring. Ronnie creating some distance here. Able to get to the top.
Could be all. And Ron, like a true pro, quick to follow up here.
Well, he knows he's got to try to string this offense together. Another big spine buster.
And Mathis, in that exchange, may have gotten a little over-aggressive.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about before, throwing caution to the wind. You know, you've got chance to recover. You've got time to heal. You have to try to just get the win at any cost in these kind of long-form tournaments. But Ronnie's in a bad spot here because if his ribs are damaged, he can't get a breath. And now when you're cutting off that airflow and you're cutting off that circulation of blood to the brain, you're already unable to get a deep breath because there's been damage done and injury to the ribs. This is the worst case scenario now here for Ronnie Grande. And this is going to be the toughest battle for him to try to get back up and get back into fighting position. I'm interested to see what's going to go on from here. What's in the mind of Ron right now?
You know where Ron Mathis is right now? He's on the canvas where he can lose the matchup.
And this might be it. If this arm drops. No, he's still got a little bit of fight.
And we're seeing the physical chess match play out because Mara did not want to allow Mathis to get to those ropes. So Mathis had to expend the energy. Bottom drops out, and we're at a virtual stalemate right here.
Yeah, but that was highly impactful for Jace, but also damage done to Ronnie, having to use that, fight through that pain, push through that damage to try to execute that maneuver. Everything Ronnie does moving forward is going to be that much more of a toll on his own body.
Who are we going to see advance to join Brandon and Tad in the second round?
A third spine buster.
That's got to be all. Back press.
And that's 3 spine busters Ron Mathis has endured with what I believe are already somewhat, if not significantly, damaged ribs.
But clearly, Jace realizes he's going to have to dig deeper in the playbook. He's going to take a chance, head up top here.
Ron's still able to fight back. I do want to call to attention the strength of Jace to be able to catch a grown man out of midair like that, hold him, and then still execute the spine buster. This has been so impressive by both parties, but Jace Mara is out there putting on quite the display.
Competition
we're seeing here.
Competition personified here in the tournament. Look out!
But is this wise for Ron to take this kind of damage? And you see here, Ron Mathis unable to capitalize quickly. Go ahead, sorry.
No, sorry, go ahead.
Now, if there's any wrestler, if there's any competitor in this company that will live and die by throwing caution to the wind. It is that man right there, Ron Mathis.
Good point here. Mathis mounting the offense. Peppering his opponent from every angle here.
And look at the power.
Out the back door.
Fighting for control here.
Wow! Power bomb, shoulders down. Man, you got to give it to Jace. He weathered that storm.
We are seeing just the first round. So far, this first round, one of the best tournaments of wrestling I have seen. And you're just seeing it on display right now between these two.
Yeah, let's not forget, second round will happen September 27th. The final round will happen October 11th back in this building. And then the winner of this tournament will challenge whomever the champion is October 25th at the Connersville Slovak Club.
Wow! That big double underhook DDT.
Jace could be advancing.
Unbelievable resiliency. And we see it month in and month out, but it is still unbelievable to see the kind of damage Ron Mathis can withstand and still keep fighting.
Once again, Jace going to try to head up top. He knows he's going to have to take some chances, going to have to take some risk.
Looking for that death blow here.
No water in the pool, crash and burn. Could be a pivotal point in this contest.
Now wait a second.
Wait, that's GME. That's Cowpoke Paul.
What do we got going on here?
These guys have no business out here. A look out. Well, we got our answer. Jace Mera couldn't beat Ron Mathis. But Jace Mera, GME, and Cowpoke Paul certainly did. One way or another, by hook or by crook, Jace Mera just advanced to the second round of this tournament.